Okay guys, so I'm back. Couple of changes though to this. I realized after I stopped filming that I had forgotten to put my magnets in. So what I did was I gently lifted up the edge and put them in there, and then these two are just marking for the outside. The other thing is I'm changing my mind when it comes to the binding system. I'm actually going to use a slotted system, and I will try and remember to link to a video. My dear friend Mariana, she has a really great tutorial of this, and then I know May Made It also has the tutorial as well. So let's see, this is 4 and I think 5/8. I did all the math and stuff off camera because it was a doozy. So yeah, 4 and 1, 2, 3/8 actually. So we're gonna come in, I'm gonna cut it to 4 and 3/8. There we go. And then we're going to cut this to what is it, 6, I believe. I cut it because my cover is 6 1/4, so yep, 6. Okay, so I've already done some of the prep work to it, and I did it on cardstock first, and then I've also added, excuse me, to the pattern paper. Now I was basically out of the 12 by 12 pattern paper, but I still have the pattern paper from the 8 by 8 collection. So once I do that, it's going to sit right in here, just like this. And I changed my mind because the slotted one is going to give me a little bit more movement. So we'll get to how we're going to get those binding strips in there in just a little bit. Now you can do this a couple of different ways. You're going to punch some holes, and let me make sure I'm doing this okay so that I can see it, because that's really the important part of it. So I'm going to go to a 1/2 inch, press my blade in, and then we're going to, I want to do it this way, bring it in. One second. Because if I do it this way, it's going to cut like that, and it's going to give me an odd, it's going to give me a not so good cut there. So it's gonna, we're gonna, so we're gonna go to 1/2 inch. Yep. Okay, 1/2 inch, and come all the way down to 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And actually what I need to do, I just remembered this, I need to repunch my holes, and that'll help me actually do this. Okay. Sometimes I just try and do things the hard way. This way I'll be able to come in and just cut from punched hole to punched hole. Okay, and you can see that this edge right here is a little jagged, so I will need to clean it up just a tad. Now I'm not good with an X-Acto knife, but you could do this with an X-Acto knife. Okay. And I actually think I want to change my blade out before cutting more of these. So I might change my blade out. It's been a minute. I haven't used this binding system in a long time. I think I only used it one other time, but it is just as strong as your Stack the Deck, Hidden Hinge, that kind of stuff. It is, oh geez, it is, I would say, less bulky. That's just my opinion, okay? Just my opinion. Cut the frayed edges off the back. Okay, that'll be covered up. Okay, now let's just in case, and switch this blade out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right in the center. And we're going to go to, I am still going to measure this at the 1/2 inch mark. And we're going to come all the way down, and I'll feel it break free, just like that. I'm going to move it over. And I'm going to line up the two holes, bring it down to, bring my blade down to the 1/2 inch. There we go, gently. Okay. Again, line up the holes, 1/2 inch. You gotta be careful because you don't want to cut too far. And when you're in the hole, your blade will wiggle just a little bit. Press down. There we go. And one more time, line up. Right down to the 1/2 inch. Make sure it's lined up to the center, like so. Gently bring that down. And then I don't think I can clean this up, but see how much easier it was when I was doing it the way that I was supposed to be doing it and punching the holes. Okay. Okay, so this is done. Now before we install it, we have to create our hinges to go into the pages. Okay, and I'm going to like this a little bit better too because I can use wet glue. It's not that I don't trust the, what do you call it? It's not that I don't trust the score tape, because I do. I just think that it might be a little bit better to do wet glue on this binding system, just because I feel like the different types of environments and things like that, it might be a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my papers, or my hinges. I believe, what is this, 5 to 5. Okay, so I'm going to cut my papers down to 5. Okay. And then I'm going to cut 1-inch strips. I'm going to need 6 of these. 2, 3. Probably it. Okay. So there's 5. And I need 1 more. So I'll cut this down to 1. And then we'll cut it at 5. Okay. All right, now go ahead, get your scoreboard. And this is just how I do it. Now, if you're doing a different binding like a different like page style, you don't have to do this, because you can, like, as you're constructing your pages, you can account for your binding piece. But because I'm using paper bags, this style, the vertical, I don't have another piece to slide into the binding system. So I have to make that piece. Okay, so I'm just scoring these at 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to also lightly score at 1/4 inch, okay? So I'm going to score at 1/2 and 1/4. Sorry, I was talking while I was scoring. And I'm lightly scoring because I'm not actually going to use this kind of as a score piece, or like a bending piece. If it bends, it's not the end of the world. I want a piece to line up the edge, because it's going to be kind of like the Hidden Hinge Plus, but it's going to give me like a little bit of space, okay? Now I know that these, oh my gosh, these bags are made to be like, they're 6 inches. And I'm okay that my binding system doesn't go all the way, okay? All right, so there's a couple things that I'm going to do first, right? I'm going to put a little adhesive here on the back side, not on this outer edge, okay? Because I still want a space. And then I'm going to this is just the way that I'm choosing to do it. Then I'm going to bring in my binding piece just like this to just, hold on. Should probably fold it first, right? To just inside the score line. So I'm going to bring it in, slide my piece in like so. We're going to press it, make sure it's not on the score line, but it's next to or close to that score line. Okay, we're just going to press it down just like that. Okay, and then we'll just, wherever that bone folder went, right here. I'll give this a good press too. Okay. Good press. Okay. All right. Now, let me just fold the rest of these real quick. It'll just make it easier to line up. Now, once again, I'm going to add a little bit of wet adhesive right here, not all the way to the edge, because remember these are, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, these are 5/8. Okay, so again, I've given myself actually a little more space for my pages to move in. Okay, so now once again, just make sure this comes in and that we're lining up the edge, so next to the score line, not on top of it, because again it'll give us a little more movement. There we go, and just press it down. And I know I have glue on the back, which not the end of the world because this will be adhered into the book. Okay. We'll work those scores a little bit more. Come in, more glue. And some of you guys are going to be concerned about the holes, like if you're going to see them. You might see them a little bit, but again, it's going to be adhered down on the book, so not necessarily. It's going to be it's going to be pretty much covered up by that page. Okay, so just press, press, press. And I'll work the scores with the bone folder in just a minute. Okay, so we're going to, yeah, I'm getting a little messy with that glue, but it's the back side, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not super concerned about it right now. Okay, flip back to the front. And then just make sure the one that I lightly scored is the one that is to the top. The wet glue I also like for this because it gives me just a little bit of wiggle room, play time to get these in the correct place. Now, if you like your score tape or, you know, that's totally fine. You use what you are comfortable with using. I just like the little bit of wiggle room that this gives me when I'm using the wet adhesive. And the fact that it's the art glitter glue, super strong, makes me even more happy. I just feel really comfortable using it. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get the next hinge installed. And again, I'm just watching where that light score line is. So my friend Mariana, her YouTube channel was Angel Wings 11001, I think. I can't, honestly, I'm so sorry, Mariana, I can't remember what it used to be, but it is now Paper Dream Design, and so you can find her on YouTube. And like I said, I will try and remember to put her on, her link on there. She is amazing and wonderful. And it's a great tutorial. And I'm not just saying that because she's my friend. And then, like I said, there's also another one from May Made It, and I will try and remember to link her down below. She's, you know, I love watching her channel too. Although she's not like a close personal friend of mine, but I think that she is an amazing crafter as well. So I'll remember to, or I'll try and remember to include both of those links. Because they both did an amazing job. Okay. All right. And mine's a little bit different because I think in theirs they used like I think they used 1/2 inches, and I used 5/8. So I used over a 1/2 inch to get my pages the distance that I need them to be. In order to get them to move the way that I need them to move. Okay, now you can at this point put a piece of cardstock back here and back this, or you can glue it directly down to your hinge or your spine. So So mine's going to come down just like that. Okay, I'm going to glue it directly to my spine piece. I do want to make sure that I ink this first. And I am going to adhere it to I'm going to adhere it in before I put my pages in. Because, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going, yeah, I'm going to cover my my pages before I glue, or before I attempt to glue in or put my pages in, okay? So, we're gonna go glue crazy on this, okay? We're not gonna be skimpy, we're not gonna be shy on the glue, although I don't think I ever am. I am very much about adhesive. I am trying to be a little bit mindful of those holes, but again, not the end of the world. This ugliness is just glued down. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's there and there. I need to move that out of the way so I can get a better look at this. Okay, I'm gonna come from the side. I actually think I need to stand up. There we go. There we go. It's straight-ish. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead, take my bone folder and just press. And just press these down. All the edges. Okay, and you can do this in cardstock too. Like you don't have to use your pattern paper. But I want mine to kind of blend in a little bit more. It's not going to be obviously perfect because I inked the edges, but it's there. All right, so now the binding is done. Let's put the pin in this. Okay, now the binding is done, so we need to do the covers. Okay. We need to rethink covers just slightly. Whoops. I'm dropping all of my little extra, you know what I'm saying, my scraps. Okay. All right, so just a second to get a little more organized. Because we still have to create the box. So, okay. Now, okay. So I think I had, I believe I had these 4 pieces set aside for the box. Okay, we're going to set those aside. And from our other pieces, let us look at kind of what I think my game plan. Okay, so I need Alright, so the other pieces were 6 1/4. I lost my ruler again, guys. There it is. Okay, so this piece was 6 1/4. Okay, so this piece is going to be for my cover and the flap. So so this will go here, here, and there. So hopefully I have enough of this one. So we'll go 6 1/4. And set that off to the side. This will be, okay, so this is 4 3/4, so we'll go 4 1/2. This one, 4 1/2. Will this work? Yes, this will. So 4 1/2, and then do I want to leave it as one piece? I think I do. So this one, piece right here is at, it's not cracking, we're good. Just want to make sure we weren't cracking, it's just a crease. Okay, so this one is going to be at 7 1/2, so we'll do 7 1/4. So we really won't be taking off much, I think, if anything. So 7 1/4. Let's take off a little bit because we can always cut it down if we need to. So let's look at this all flat. This looks good. Okay, yep, that looks good. Okay, so we've got that and that. Okay. Now we need the spine piece and the back. Okay, so the back, I think I wanted this. I think I actually wanted the spine to be the stripe. Okay, no worries. We'll do the back in this, or okay. Executive decision. Okay, so 6 1/4. I can't remember, you guys. 4 1/2. So we'll put this at 4 1/2. back piece. Let's cut this off, this little strip off. Cut this at 6 1/4. Also by 4 1/2 because our covers are exactly the same. I do like this for the back cover, but I have to remind myself that it's going to get covered up a little bit, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So by 4 1/2. Okay. I have to remind myself of things like that. Now, I cut that wrong. My spine piece I cut wrong because I want it to wrap around. I don't want it to be right there. So, good thing we have a little bit more of this paper. So I'm actually probably going to get my wish. So what do we have left on this paper now? So let's cut this down to 7. And then I'm going to do a decorative edge on it. So it's going to cut down to a little bit farther. Actually, let's see. Okay, I have a scrap of cardstock. Ruler, and it's going to cut 1/4 inch off. So 7 1/4, 7 1/4. Isn't that what I said? 7 1/4 or 7. So 6 1/2. That should be, it should be okay. I don't know about you, but I get nervous when I'm punching papers. Because I'm always afraid, like, especially if it's like a limited amount. I'm always afraid if I mess it up, then obviously I don't have the paper, you know, any more paper or whatever. Should probably wait to talk about these fears until after I've punched everything. Right? It's a little harder. I don't know why the reflection is just giving me fits. Okay. All right, got all those pieces. Okay. Let's start laying down our papers. Okay, so this is going to be the cover. I do want to ink that. And I am going to use my corner pieces. or my corner that I used on the pages. And I don't have to ink this side of the paper or punch that side because it's going to be covered up by our border. Okay. I was like, oh God, did I just mess that up again? Not yet. It's just hard because now I'm building it backwards. And oops, almost forgot to put my magnets down. Crisis averted. But now let's add a little bit more glue. Okay. There we go. Yay! This book kind of working in. There we go. All right. It's a box in of itself. All right, so my next, I'm not going to put my spine piece down, which this is my spine piece. I will put my back piece down. Quick ink. I don't have to punch anything or anything like that because I don't. Because it's going to be covered. Okay. But as I'm putting this down, let's make sure we line this up. There we go. It's going to be good. Okay. And I do actually need this piece because I'm going to do a little piece right here. So I'm going to do a little 2.5 inch. So this is the correct height, but I want this same on that side. Okay, so we'll do a little 3-inch piece. Changing my mind on the fly. Okay, go ahead. Punch this. Okay. This piece. And punch, punch, punch. Okay. There's that. Let's get rid of those pieces. So this is going to go on this side, like so. Okay. And then this piece is going to come in here. Like that. Okay. So I need to punch this. And this piece. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. So the more that I'm thinking about it now, you guys, the more I probably would have been happier using this piece for the back and the spine, just kind of wrapping all the way around, but whatever. It is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and ink up all these edges right here. And we are going to ink the sides of these because they are overlaying our pattern paper. Okay. And I guess I got my wish. I got to use all of that paper, or the writing, which I thought was really, really pretty. Not that it mattered what it said. That was a little crazy. Not that it really mattered what it said. It just, I thought it was just kind of pretty and, you know. Okay, case of the dropsies and the butterfingers. So my hands are just like, ah. Okay, get this all inked. Okay, we'll get this inked up as well. Then once that's done, we can get our pages installed and then work on the cover. I do have a couple ideas for the cover and an idea for the inside. Not 100% sure I'm going to be doing that, or oops, that's kind of bent the binding. That's fine. Okay. Just want to make sure it's balanced. All right. So you're going to be done with that. I think originally when I started out, I was actually going to use this for the binding, or the, you know what I'm saying, the spine. That obviously changed. I'm not worried about this, like the glue coming through, because I'm using the wet glue, the art glitter, so it's going to dry clear if I do. I'm going to have it, there's going to be parts of it that are going to come to the front. But again, like I said, I'm not concerned about that. It's going to wipe off really easily, and if I miss any of it, it's going to dry matte, so you're not going to see it. Okay. So we'll go here. And, oh, hi, little miss. One second. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hi. You want to come sit with Mama? No, you don't. You want to get under the blanket? You want to get up there? I don't know what she's wanting. She just was coming in to see me. Okay, now we got to make sure that we... Where's my brayer? You guys see my brayer? I don't see it. It's usually rolling around someplace over here. I wish I had it. It would be preferential if I had it now. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just really press this cardstock down. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and adhere this side too, and then we'll press this spine down because I want it to fully dry before I attempt to bend it into place. So as soon as that happens, I'm going to, as soon as I get these pieces on, I'm going to take a little break, let the glue dry, because again, I don't want to crack my cardstock or my pattern paper because I don't really have a way to fix it if I move too fast on this particular step. Okay. All right, so I'm going to bring this in real quick though, because I want to make sure they're lined up. Because I've done that before where I have put these down and I was like, it was like super crooked. So I just want to make sure that I am adhering them at the right levels. Okay, there's that. Now last piece to go on is going to be this piece right here. Oh, see, can't hang on to anything right now. Trying to center it left to right. Okay, I have my handy dandy paper towel right here. Oops, I have to re-ink that right there because I rubbed a bit overzealously right there, which is another good reason for me to ink things. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to pause right here, let all of this dry, get nice and adhered so I don't crack anything or mess up anything while I'm trying to get it folded. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay guys, so I'm back, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start prepping my my inserts. Okay, so they're going to be 4x6, so I'm going to take a 12x12 piece of paper because I can get all of my mats or my inserts out of this. So we're going to go 4 or 6, and we're going to go 4 by 4. So I just got all 6 inserts from the same piece of cardstock. I need to also go through and just cut some mats. So just gonna find, of the papers that I have, what I might have enough of to do that. I want to save this for just a little bit longer. Okay, I'm just gonna look at all my scraps. So this might be okay. Be at least 1, 2, 3, 4. This one will make another mat. 5, make another mat. Yep, that one will make another mat. I just want to use as much as I can without cutting into the 12 by 12 pieces, because we still got to make that box. Okay. Okay, I think this will do it. We shall see. Did I do 3 3/4? Nope. It's not quite going to be enough. But this one will be. Okay. So we're going to have a mix. And let's see. Oh, that could work. That's part of the solids. Okay, let me just... I've got stuff everywhere, you guys. All right, I can use that because that will be too, for the box, it will be too much. That is that. So this one is 2 of each design. Okay, all right. All right, and I might be kicking myself that I already used the designs for this one, because that would be really pretty, but we'll get there. I'll make it work. Okay, so I need my paper trimmer first. Okay, so this is 5 3/4. There we go. And 3 3/4. 3 3/4. 3 3/4. To, so this one, five 3/4. It'll be sideways, but just shy. Maybe we might use this one. We'll just put that off to the side. Same goes for this one. 5 3/4. 3 3/4. Just shy. I think the same will go for these two as well. Some of these might be sideways, but you know, it's okay. Just shy. Okay, so I have three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I can do this way, and if they're just a tiny bit shy, it's like 1/8 of an inch or less, so we'll be fine. Okay, so I do want to punch these corners. And then I do also have to decide if I'm going to, like what tab I'm going to use. Now, I haven't used a lot of butterflies, but a tab die. I can find it. I know it's in here. Someplace. Someplace. Did I totally flip past it too fast? Potentially. Or the Craft Room Gremlins. I borrowed it. I've used it before. Oh, there it is. This one, Cottage Cuts, that butterfly. I might use that one. So we will get there. Always afraid to break it. Yeah, I can't do that. Because I'd be really upset if I broke my mat. Speaking of mats, have you guys seen that new mat that oh, now I can't think of the description. There's a new mat out there. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And it looks phenomenal. It's like a new, like, non-stick craft mat. So I have my eye on it. We'll see. We'll see what happens, right? Okay. I wish there was a faster, easier way. I think I need to sharpen this punch. It's given me some edges. I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, guys, I am back, and I made a couple of decisions. Excuse me. Let's bring these back in. One, I am not going to use the butterfly. Although the butterfly is super, super pretty, and I absolutely love it. The problem is these mats are 6 inches. and then it adds too much height. So when it's going to go into the Victrola box or the Gamophone box, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be too tall. So I am going to use my traditional whale tab punch. Just for space issues. Okay. So I'm going to do that. The other thing is, let's go ahead, excuse me, and install these pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the score, like your score tape, not yours, mine, obviously. And I don't know where my piece went. I keep losing it. Just want to keep track of my stuff. There it is. I did, however, find my brayer. It was buried. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit to just this one side up to the score line. Okay. And I'm just doing it on the one side because I'm going to use wet glue to keep my pages in, so I don't need to put it on both sides. Alright, so now we have to figure out what order our pages are going to go in. And I think I already did. Except for this one, I think. Yeah. This is going to be my front page. I need to remember to put something in there. Okay, so this is actually opposite of what I want to be doing. I need to be starting from the back. So this is going to be my final page. And what I'm going to do, just burnish that tape down just a little bit. Pull the backing off of it. And then we're going to add tape to this. Now, hang on just one second, please.